There are programs currently in place in Jacksonville to help the city's uninsured and underinsured, but healthcare barriers come in different forms. People in a lower socioeconomic bracket say they are treated differently in many settings, including while they're trying to get care.
So health equity experts attest that it's a disturbing fact. Keitha Nelson is continuing her series tonight, The Untold Truth, looking into why Black women are dying at a higher rate from preventable, treatable conditions.
I remember sitting on the floor, just crying.
Raised in West Jacksonville, Vonceil Bradford is the product of Moncrief Elementary, Paxton Middle, Rains High School,
Dr. Vonceil Priscilla Bradford,
and Florida A&M University.
I'm the first doctor in my family, the first one to go to a university. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to prove statistics wrong.
She had her first child at the age of 16 and her second while in her senior year at Rains.
I don't regret my children. They gave me a level of motivation. When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I was on a mission.
Cancer. She's faced adversity before, but a lump discovered while in pharmacy school at FAMU at the age of 29 led to the biggest fight of her life.
I discovered a lump the size of maybe a pecan, I always say. I remember coming home roughly a month later, and I brought it to my doctor's attention.
Bradford says she was told to monitor that lump, and within months it grew to the size of a golf ball. While back at school,
there was this particular day I woke up and I was in pain, and I remember having discharge coming from my breast. And I went to a hospital in Tallahassee, Florida.
She recalls being told it may be a cyst. No scans. Once again, Bradford says she was advised to monitor the lump.
For me, I had that level of trust that this is the doctor. She must be 100% aware of the information she's providing. She's seen this multiple times.
Months later,
the complications are more severe. I'm constantly in the ER every week. I'm just complaining about the same issues. The pain, the discharge.
Feeling dismissed, she called her doctor at home and insisted that scans needed to be done. On the other end of a nearly 3-hour drive to Jacksonville, yet another hurdle stood in Bradford's way.
I was informed that they were not going to do the mammogram because of my age. The doctor said that she didn't want to introduce me to unnecessary radiation.
Bradford recalls being unable to hold back her tears. She'd lose her composure to save her life.
I was at the front desk and I said, it will take for me to die before someone listens to what I'm saying. This has been going on almost a year. I mean, I discovered this in spring, maybe all of March of 2019. Here we are in November. I'm like, I know something is going on with my body.
The hospital agreed to do an ultrasound. There are key moments that vividly replay in Bradford's mind, including the technician's reaction while scanning her breast.
I remember her rushing to try to hang the monitor up and then get out the room. And in that moment, I knew it wasn't a cyst. I can hear the conversations on the outside of the room. And I remember walking out the door and the hallway became silent. And I just remember saying, y'all were gonna let me leave. No one cared. No one cared.
She finally got that mammogram.
And the only thing I could think about is that I discovered this when I was 29, and here I am 30.
Why do you think it took you an entire year to finally get diagnosed?
I think my age played a factor. When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I was in that socioeconomic class of the voices that are shut off. dismissed. I was that Medicaid patient.
There are costs that are involved in evaluating someone for a cancer. And so often those decisions are made based on what we think the risk is. So we don't order the test that might be more expensive.
25 years in the medical field, Dr. Kelly Ty says she's witnessed one too many disparities within the healthcare system.
So I think physicians tend to err on the side of reassuring you rather than, and this is the question we should ask for ourselves, how can you assure me that what I'm experiencing isn't something that could be catastrophic? That's the answer. Don't reassure me that it's nothing. Reassure me that it's not something I should be worried about.
When finally diagnosed, cancer was found in her right and left breasts. Bradford would end up removing them both. Unimaginable at just 30 years old, yes, but she's still here. She had support throughout her battle, friends also involved in the fight.
Me and Jessica had a group chat, and we called the Sisters That Will Survive. I have it in my phone, and it was me, her, and a young lady named Stephanie.
Is Stephanie still here?
Stephanie's not here.
You're the only one.
I'm the only one.
Vonceil Bradford mentioned to me that her father wasn't in her life growing up, so she didn't know at the time of diagnosis that breast cancer does run in her family. That's a conversation Bradford encourages us all to have with our loved ones.
Thank you, Keitha. That was Keitha Nelson reporting. And to learn what you can do right now to change health outcomes for Black women for generations to come, you can just take out your phone.
Take out your phone and scan that QR code up on the screen right now, and you'll be able to find out if you're eligible to sign up for the Voices of Black Women research study.